Looks like Dan the Man back there in the 4, Shepard in 4th in the 48. I believe Snake Eyes is in that 5. Oh, sorry, Death Before Dishonor in the 5. And the top line already looking to go back a little bit. Hollywood jumped down to that low side rather early. And you can see how bumpy it is. Let's see how nice and tight it is on the bottom here, as it seems like the yellow line is where you want to be in these turns. As you can see, the 16 going to make a move here on the inside against typical the 3, usually the strong car in the field out here in the Ruthless Racing Series. Did not get the regular season champ, as that did belong to Hollywood. Hollywood catching himself up there on the high side. Death Before Dishonor, a strong car here at Atlanta. Poking his head up there early on in 2nd now. Dan the Man pushing hard with those 2 lower side cars, as Hollywood keeps finding himself kind of running up on that higher side, which might be a little bit of an advantage to someone in the lead. You can see Death Before Dishonor just pushing on him and working with him all he can, but he ditches him this time to go down with Dan the Man to block his inside momentum. Dan the Man kind of got a lot of momentum there on the inside, looking to make a crossover move to the outside, but thinks better of it, comes back down to the inside for the moment. The bump there in turn 1 and 2 is something. As we got a good battle out front already, and there is Dan the Man to the inside. And I may have misspoke and said Dan the Man for Bad Martin earlier. Bad Martin is in that 4. Dan the Man is in the 34, who just took the lead with the help of Bad Martin in the 4. As we've seen that before from those two working together out here in the Ruthless Racing field. Dan the Man in the 34 leading this time by with 9 of 51 laps. Bad Martin in the 4 and 2nd, Hollywood in the 16 and 3rd, and the 5 of the Death Before Dishonor. 43 of Lando out there in 5th position. As 16 is going to get locked up on the 4 and make a move towards the front, get the 4 the lead of Bad Martin. 2nd goes to Hollywood, 3rd to Death Before Dishonor, as Dan the Man finds himself from leading to 4th. Just like that, and that's how it goes in Atlanta whenever you get stuck out too dry. And I believe we're seeing some pit signaling already. I could be wrong. Could have just been a little loose there. Nope, we're going to see a pit from 2 drivers. So yeah, got Bad Martin and Death Before Dishonor going down this time. Tires were the issue, is why they are having to pit. And 26 laps remaining here in stage number 1. Hollywood, I don't think he'll pit this time. Don't think Dan the Man will pit this time. As we got the pitted cars out here, Bad Martin and Death Before Dishonor. As I believe these two will be the ones to watch after these pits go through. So they are coming off. Lando, the Extendo, will be going down pit road this time. Dan the Man also down there to get some service. Oh, okay, we just got them locked together coming out of the pits there. That's all that was. Hollywood coming in this lap. Typical still out there. After having to catch that group, he is still out there. I guess feeling that his car was faster than any of theirs at the end of those runs, so it's worth an extra lap to him. Thanks to everybody who is watching out here. This is the Ruthless Racing Series playoffs. The Ruthless 8 taking on Atlanta, as this is the first playoff race in Ruthless Racing Series history. And there's Death and Bad Martin. As typical is now down pit road. As when everything comes about, I think these guys will be your leaders. As you can see, a couple of those guys coming off pit road now. There is Hollywood, as he will need to get up to speed. I believe he is your third place car, as Death Before Dishonor now leading this first playoff race here in the Ruthless Racing Series playoffs. And we got some issues out front here. A little bit of a wreck between the leaders. Allows Hollywood to go around. I do not think that's going to be warranting a caution. 3 wide here for second place now. Off that little bit of an issue. A good 3 wide battle now, as Typical is going to be able to clear the 4 and bring it back door to door between the 4 and the 5. 3, 4, 5 right there in order. You'll not see that in very many places. 3, 4, and 5. Unfortunately, they are in second, third, and fourth. Right here to grab some extra points for this Ruthless 8 playoff round. To the lead he goes. A little bit of a bump as he goes by. And there you go. That's going to be the lead to Typical. Pass not completely complete until now. And there you go. The 3 American Ethanol car has passed the 16. As he tries to come back up to the inside. Grabs some side draft. Going to get it. Bad Martin going to be there to help somebody. Not going to allow the 3 to go down this time. You're going to have a little bit of outside momentum against the 16 here. 3 and the 4 working together in that order. Outside side draft for the 16's what's keeping him strong. And he's going to retain the lead for now. Outside does have the better pull down the stretch. 4 is going to stay out there with him in that preferred line down the stretch. 4 is also going to stay high with the 3 going through the turn. So something that 4 is not wanting to work down low with the 16 there, as the 4 needs all the points he can get. As we got 7 to go here in stage number 1. As the lead is to Hollywood again. And he's going to hold strong, try to clear his bumper this time. No slide job here at Atlanta. As these 2 guys have been battling it out for the last 4 laps. Little contact down the front stretch. Going to even them up coming into the turn number 3. Hollywood's going to have that preferred line though. He's going to keep it down. Bumps kind of running up the 3 here. And number 3 and 4. I guess the 3 was clear down low there. And Hollywood holding strong down here on the low side. Got 5 to go. And we are just neck and neck here at Atlanta here in stage number 1. And this is a battle between the 16 and the 3 regular season champ against the one that could have been. There's 4 laps remaining here in stage number 1. Oh, apron for the 16. Can he hang on to it? The lead will go to the 3 for just a moment. But he isn't going to hang on to it enough. '16 still the leader. As we got 3 to go. Some good racing here for stage number 1. 3-car battle up front. Could allow the 5, I think that is, of Death Before Dishonor to kind of catch up to this group. And it leaves the 4 nowhere to go, though. Just 2 cars up here ahead of him, door to door. And here it is. 2 to go this time by. 16 holds on to the lead for now, as they will come down to 1 to go as they go by the line. 1.5 to go now. 16 been holding on to that bottom for the last 10 laps. Can he hang on to it for a stage 1 win? Door to door with the 3 this time. As we will try to use our overhead view here to get this last lap in the first stage action. As I believe the stream went, oh, we had a caution, unfortunate. Hollywood will be your stage 1 winner as a caution comes out and causes the stage to end. Hollywood is on the pole, Typical on the outside, Dan the Man in third. I'm sorry, Bad Martin in third, Dan the Man in fourth. Typical sneaks down there to steal second real quick. Lando now up to fourth, who started in fifth whenever this all restarted. Hollywood going back to claim first place like he did before, one way down to the inside here to start off everything. I believe that was the 5 of Death Before Dishonor. And we're going to try to get lined back up here, out here in the lead. 51 laps in stage number 2 as well. And we'll have one pit just like before in this stage. As Hollywood gets a look stranded out on the outside, allowing Typical to go back out to the lead. Bad Martin to the inside can make this a race. Up for the front. Hollywood's going to sneak in behind that 4. Lando out here on the outside. The air is going to mess with him a little bit, but it's going to allow him to sneak right back in there into 4th position. We have a new one up here showing their face. That is Snake Eyes up here in the 5th position for now. Battling alongside Dan the Man back there in that 34. Snake Eyes now in 5th position. You can see not much separation here amongst most of the field, as it's pretty tight racing. Most cars seeming to stay on the bottom. We've got a good mess back there. Typical a part of that. Oh, one way off to the inside there. Oh, bumping up in turn number 3 of 4, one up to the wall. As we got a little bit of a problem mid-pack. Outside for the 43, grabs some concrete out there on the wall, and we'll go all the way back to 6th position. So unfortunate series of event for the 34. Or 43, I'm sorry. 34 now on screen in 3rd, battling against the 3 and the 5. And the 3 will have that inside line, which is preferred. Hollywood and the 16 going to go down and give the 3 the necessary air to complete this pass on the 34. And don't forget it, there's another one tagging on to the 3 there. And that will be the 5 of Death Before Dishonor, who, sure enough, will also pass around the 34 of Dan the Man here. Typical, been bulldozing his way through here the whole stage, and he's going to do no different here to the lead car. The 3 and the 4 battling for the front. 3, 4, and the 5 rather. Fighting for the front. 4 going to lose the lead to the 3 of Typical this time. Bad Martin now not the leader. Commentator's curse. As I was just mentioning, that lead has not changed. It changes. And now the 3 of Typical is certainly the leader. It's just a matter of figuring out who's going to be in 2nd. Will we have an incident like we did with Hollywood and Typical there in stage number 1? Will it just stay a door-to-door battle? Too many cars on that low side working against that high door-to-door action though. Or as we are at 19 of 51 laps here in stage number 2. So we should be seeing some pits coming up rather soon. So Bad Martin now finds himself back to 5th. As I was talking, I did not see what happened. Typical finds himself out of the lead now. Death Before Dishonor leading this fiasco. Midway through stage number 2, 31 laps remaining to be exact. As they come down the backstretch, rather tight-knit on the low side. As in league races, I have noticed the low side of Atlanta down the backstretch is where people like to stay. They do not want to give people the opportunity to sling it down in there in turn 3. So they stay very protective of that lower line. As you can see, they kind of line themselves out, straighten up here for this top 5 position. Everybody got a little different exit, it seems to be. 34 going to make a move to the inside, bumps the 5 up in turn number 3 and 4. 34 to the lead this time. Dan the Man is now your leader after pushing up the 5. 16 hard on his bumper on the inside. Hollywood's going to try to jump out just a little bit. Don't want to let that 34 and 4 to get together. You will not see them again. 16 is going to think better of it, stay in between them. So there's Death Before Dishonor going in the pit. Dan the Man and Bad Martin still out here. Bad Martin, now your leader. I have Hollywood there in 3rd. Not sure what happened. Bad Martin going to pit this time. Dan the Man not looking to, I don't think. He possibly could have thought about it late. Yep, gonna do it. Hollywood gonna stay out on him. So will Typical. Shepard in this time. Dunlap does not go. Alright, so those 3 guys are down in the pits. Unfortunate, got some drivers out of the race. Hollywood, now your leader. With Typical there behind him, and that's who is in 2nd. We'll see if Hollywood pits this time. And he will, along with Typical. So the lap after strategy for Hollywood here, along with Dunlap. He will also pit with those guys. So not too bad for these fellas here, I don't think. It's 25 laps remaining here in stage number 2. As you can see, Bad Martin coming out now. As whenever he gains that lap back, he'll be your leader. Typical and Hollywood now in their groove. Death Before Dishonor taking off. As he pit earlier there, he is trying to get back to the lead. Hollywood and Typical coming off there, as you can see. This will make Death Before Dishonor your leader. So we'll see what Typical decides to do here, as these guys have got 1 to go as they come down into turn 1 again for the final time in stage number 2. Can Bad Martin get some much needed points here in the playoffs at Atlanta? Death Before Dishonor, no points attached, gets back up to 2nd position, going to get moved up a little bit, coming to the line. Bad Martin going to hang on in stage number 2 to win it over Death Before Dishonor. Hollywood and Typical both had the fresher tires and was not able to get it done. Bad Martin outside. Hollywood in 3rd, Typical in 4th. And we are off stage number 3 in the first race of the Ruthless Playoffs at Atlanta. You are watching the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so, as stage number 3 is underway. The 5 of Death Before Dishonor will jump out to the lead. and stay there, or started on the lead and will stay there. Second place also stays where they were. So everybody kind of falling into order here. Shepard sneaks a spot. Death up and into the wall there on the exit. Wonder what happened. It's going to allow Bad Martin to go back out there to where he's used to, the lead. He's got Hollywood in second there behind him. Got a lot going on here. Everybody got bunched back together. We'll get us a lap count here. I know it's a lot. 52 remaining here in stage number 3. But I think we started off with 55 here in stage number 3. So 51 on the first two, 55 here in the last one. Be a big win for somebody like Bad Martin or Dan the Man, as either of those two getting a win, that would automatically lock them in to the next round. And that would be a big hit for someone like Anxious Yeti, who had to miss tonight. Trav Nation, also a playoff driver, not making the race this evening. So two guys kind of already showing themselves possibly out of the playoffs. Typical is your winner here, as he will go on to do his burnout.